So what's going on? It's the Plug Podcast. We are here with the Johnny Nunez.
Johnny Nunez.
He's definitely here to speak his but his part in this whole entire scandal that's kind of going on with his company. But I do want to start it off and let him introduce himself and let you guys know what the brand is involved. And let's go. John, how you doing?
All right, man.
Live and direct from New York City.
Me on, man.
Thank you for joining us, man.
I'm actually calling you long distance from Colombia, Barranquilla, Colombia.
Oh, international flow.
My, 3 months. Yeah. I'm actually holding my 3-month-old son right now as we have this conversation.
Congratulations.
It's crazy that my son, yeah. My son's mother just handed him off to me, so it's crazy. My son is looking at me right now. He's like, "Daddy, what are you doing?" And I'm like, son, I'm doing this for you right now, baby. I'm doing this for you.
He'd understand. He'd understand.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, my name is John Nunez, not to be confused with the photographer Johnny Nunez, which is my people anyway. But shout out to him.
I do apologize for that, the mispronunciation.
No, that's cool. It's cool. It depends. It depends what day of the week you could call me Johnny. As long as you don't call me Mary, I'm good. I am the founder. I say that very cocky right now. I am the founder of CL95, but I am actually, on the record. I'm the co-founder of CL95, an urban streetwear company that I started with Raekwon, the chef of Wu-Tang Clan, and my other partner, Robert Santana.
Do you want to let the crowd know what the CL95 stood for?
Right. As of today, CL95 stands for Class of 95.
Okay.
But formerly known as it was an homage to the Cuban, the Only Built for Cuban Links album. So I know.
Yeah, he's
I know.
He didn't want to hear that part of it.
Yeah. So it was formerly known as Cuban Links 95 as an homage to Raekwon and the Purple Tape.
Okay.
That's where CL95 came from.
All right. And you can keep going. I just wanted to let people know what the CL95 stood for.
Gotcha. And the idea to start the company actually came from a personal standpoint where I thought about this last night. Back 3 years ago, I used to weigh 300 pounds. So I've always wanted the Snow Beach, but if most of you low heads know, it never came in XXL.
Beautiful jacket. Beautiful jacket, by the way.
Dope.
Yeah.
And your Lynx Beach
Thanks,
brand
man.
is beautiful also. I just wanted to note that. If you haven't checked it out, people, definitely go to the website and check that out.
For real. Nice.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's all good.
Don't worry about it.
So back in 90, actually got the idea in 94 where I wanted the Snow Beach. It was up there, in price. The price wasn't the issue, was the sizing, and then the idea of paying $5,000 for a jacket that was structurally unsound. I kind of had a problem with it. So
yeah, Ralph had to step up their manufacturing. I definitely heard that you guys stepped up all their manufacturing on the jacket. The jacket was way better, well-built than the Polo, the one that came out.
I know Ralph Ralph never had the intention to make it such a technical piece. But I always said that wouldn't it be great if the Snow Beach was a real technical jacket. And that's where I said, you know what, I'm going to make one out of Gore-Tex. I'm going to make it the way that it should be made. And, I started doing the R&D and it went from a Post-it note to a cat sketch and a scat catch and cat sketch into
I got it.
into a prototype. And then, it just came to life, man. To see the jacket really come to life was something else, man. And I really, at that point, I was like, you know what? Forget about me just having it. What about we give this to the world? And that's where I approached Ray about it. And that was really the birth of CL95 right there.
And it's funny, the first time I heard about you, I was watching R.I.P. Combat Jack show, And I definitely saw you on there.
God, you know.
That was a great look by a great man in this business that we're on the platform that we're on right now. So R.I.P. Combat Jack.
Right.
But with that being said, so from it coming to a dream that you had to then a reality, and then you reaching out to Ray, who you already knew on a personal basis at that point, and then him having the wherewithal to link up with you and make this brand a real thing for you, it must have been a dream at the time.
Right. I mean, my motivation was personal in the beginning, but then I mean, for him, and you know, like for the record, man, you know, that wasn't a business partner like he says, you know, online, you know, that's family, you know.
Yes.
And he wasn't ever chef to me. He was Corey Woods. You know, I didn't give a fuck if I didn't care that I didn't care about Wu-Tang because, you know, our relationship developed just on some, you know, I don't need anything from you. You don't need anything from me.
Right.
Yeah, on some brother shit. So when I pitched the idea to him, you know, he really in the beginning he shot it down, but it took 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I had to. It took a little convincing in the beginning because of the you know, I had no experience in the business, and which didn't mean I couldn't pull this off. Is that he definitely kind of underestimated my potential in the situation. You know, my background's in finance. I worked on Wall Street for over 10 years, and I knew exactly what I had to do to make this happen. Now, you know, I saw the potential window for opportunity. With it being the anniversary of Only Built for Cuban Links, plus I saw what the world was doing for Nas, and you know, Nas and Ray's careers I thought were very similar, very parallel in time. Mm-hmm. So I was just 1 second. You know what? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get my son's mom. Hold on 1 second. Do you want to pause it for 1 second?
It's all good.
Hold on 1 second.
There we go.
Yo, so Johnny, we watched an interview earlier. It was you. It was Raekwon. It was and Raekwon had a Van City hoodie on.
Yeah, I think you guys were in Vancouver.
On. You know what I'm saying?
That was our first. That was our first pop-up shop in Vancouver.
Okay. So
I was listening to what you had said. I was just reading the body language, and it looked like so. I'm just trying to figure out who really did he design it? Did he say did he design it, or you just let him say that? Like, how did that work?
Yeah, that came off weird.
I mean, I had mentioned that when I thought you were still online, but you know, for the record, you know, I'm definitely a team player, but you know,
I feel
you know, in light of recent events, you know, I am the idea, the concept, the intellectual property development and research of the Link speech was done solely by me.
Because it sounded like your project to begin with, from what you were describing to me. So that's when because you said it, I believe on Combat, you said that it was because of the same reason that you told us, and then Ray went into more. It was a different story during that interview.
Raekwon had an interview, and but I guess it was a team.
Did he
thing.
feel like you guys
were
had
together?
to?
It's more like a team thing. I would think
it was
because they was rocking out. You know what I mean?
But initially, it was your idea.
Yeah, totally.
So I want the people to understand that. Like, I don't want it to come off as because the way he made it seem like it was more of a partnership, but as much as it was definitely your pet project to begin with.
Yeah, you know, and I can't pull any punches when I say this. Like, if it wasn't for me, there wouldn't have been any Link speech.
So when you guys were promoting together, does that mean at some point were you guys splitting profits at that point, or there was no really like because why would he promote? You know.
I'll go into the contractual and legal part of it right now and explain. Like, I was always down to give him, you know, to do this 50-50. I was like, you know, I'm not going to take anything away from him and what the legacy that was forged between him and that piece of clothing. Can't take that away from him. But you know, and for that was worth 50% of whatever we were going to do. So I had offered 50%, and I would, and financially, myself and my partner Ralph Santana, we would stake the production of the garment. But he didn't understand his contract. I gotta say.
Ray didn't understand his contract.
Things started getting weird, like from around that point when we were trying to lock down the agreement.
Okay.
He started coming up with funny demands, and the one that stands out the most is where he wanted a majority ownership, which would mean 51%, and he wanted zero liability. So I'm like, that's impossible. You cannot be the owner of a corporation
and not
be held
resume
accountable if something
liability.
happens.
1,000%. That doesn't even make sense.
So I in an effort to make him feel, to make this deal happen and make him feel comfortable, I offered him 51% ownership.
Okay.
As an employee, similar to the Sam Rothstein deal in Casino.
Okay. Or Shark Tank. I watch Shark Tank.
Familiar with Casino?
Yeah,
Sam Rothstein,
of course.
He had ran the show, but
Sam
he was a food and beverage guy.
No, I feel you.
So I give Ray the same title. No, I didn't get food and beverage, but he was an employee of Steel 95 who happens to be a majority shareholder.
Right.
Okay? I paint that in a broad stroke for him, and he comes out and says, "I'm not working for you." I'm like, are you that dense? It's like I asked him this question, which I gave him too much credit. Where, I asked him the simple question. I said, in a corporation, when a corporation goes sideways, who are the individuals who are not held accountable if the company goes south?
Everybody that
employees.
Right.
So what was the concern about the libel? Was it because it was built off of a Ralph Lauren model, or is it the fact that
right. He wanted 50%, but he wasn't like, God forbid something happened as far as the company ran into debt or anything like that. He didn't want anything to do with that.
All right. Well, that doesn't make sense in and of itself.
It doesn't.
But money was exchanged between you and Ray.
Apparently, he didn't want to take none of the risk, but all of the reward.
Let me ask you guys: Would you sign off on a deal like that?
No, of course not. Nobody would. Nobody in their right mind would.
The only thing that when we were watching the interviews later, after I talked to you, bro, is like I seen that it said Chef Sport on it. So I was like, man, because he probably feels like, damn, I got you. It says Chef Sport. Like, that's all me, and you selling it, and I'm not getting any money. You see what I'm saying? Like, I see where he can see that. You see what I'm saying? So I wonder, like, I think what I would probably do if it was me, this is me, I would just check him off. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm already getting money. So I'm gonna just hit you with a check. I give you a bag. I give you a light bag, and then we can go on our separate. And that's how I do it. I'll handle it like that. You know what I mean?
It would have happened easily. It would have. But the thing was, I got to tell you all that in my heart of hearts, he lost faith in the project after the Van City pop-up shop.
So after that initial buzz, he was done with it.
But why would he lose faith because of the pop-up shop?
It wasn't his passion project.
The pop-up shop looked lit. It looked lit on the video. It looked like that joint was lit.
No, everything was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. But what I told you earlier, fam, all that glitters isn't gold. Now, that day of that pop-up shop, he sold 0 pieces. 0.
So you did all the hand-to-hand selling that day?
Huh?
Or there was no coat sold there?
Not one sale transpired that day.
Okay. So it was more of like a commercial or publicity at that point.
So how did stuff get sold then? Like how did it go?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So this is where I saw signs where that afternoon after the show, after the pop-up was over, he's sitting on the side, he's drinking some Hennessy, and he has this defeated look on his face. I knew at that moment that he lost faith in the project.
Gotcha.
Because nothing was sold. Nothing sold. And that was okay. Like I was okay with it because it wasn't my gig. I thought it was. I shout out to Martini and Dip, great store out in Vancouver. I just think it was prepared. It was done too quickly and a lot of people didn't know that it was going down.
I agree. It sounds like you should have had a pop-up shop in New York, not Canada.
No, and it's going to happen, and that's and we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
And I'll talk about that. So nothing transpired there. So he's like, shit, man, if I can't even sell this jacket, how this is my take from it from looking at him. Shit, I couldn't sell nothing. How the fuck is this guy, who's not famous, gonna sell this?
Yes.
That's what I took from that day. So from that point on, I saw him basically start abandoning ship.
Okay. But that was in 2015, so a lot should have transpired in the last 2 years that soured this relationship to the point where he decided to drop a Instagram post today that, in my opinion, it just comes off as a rant, and it's a bit much. Like, to fraud alert, and he puts the logo up, and like I said, the beautiful jackets. Check them out yourselves online. I love the jackets. But for those for the fans that don't know exactly what we're speaking about, do you mind if I read it out loud for the community?
Go
And
ahead,
I want to have you
ahead.
react to exactly what he says. So Raekwon today today is the 31st. Shout out, Happy New Year's to everybody listening. He posts, fraud alert. I want to let the people know that I have no association with CL95 Inc. and CL95 NYC. I haven't been for the last 3 years due to shady business dealings. My former business partner, John Nunez, has been frauding people by taking money and not sending their orders. So please do not order or buy anything from there. I apologize to all my fans who have been scammed. New Raekwon merch line coming soon. Beware, people.
Yeah, right.
Spread the word. Fuck John Pussy Nunez. Now, to me, when I saw that come across, I was like, questions have to be answered. And I went into the comments, and we did see you speaking and defending yourself, as you should, because that's a slanderous, as you said,
right,
post. Defamation of character, and with no, if there's no burden of proof there, you definitely have a case on your hands. So that's why we decided to reach out to you and have you defend yourself. So after reading that, I mean, what were your feelings when that came across your IG timeline today?
You want to hear some crazy shit, man?
Yeah.
Like I had mentioned earlier, the writing was on the wall. I don't know if you remember. Reggie, I'll say Combat Jack. Again,
R.I.P. Combat Jack.
We became very close. We became very close after that first interview. I don't know if you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys knew what Reggie did for a living before. He was
yes, he was a lawyer.
Yeah. So, before Reggie passed away, he was consulting me on the side.
Okay.
On how to handle this. Obviously for obvious reasons, I didn't want to involve him, nor did I want him to get involved. But he was counseling me on how to handle this.
Yes, he was a big fashion guy. He was definitely into streetwear fashion. You could tell.
Yeah. So I already knew. I already know what to do. I'm letting cooler heads prevail because I was upset yesterday. Who wouldn't? I mean, I
clearly, who wouldn't?
So it hurt. It hurt, man, because it's like I can't believe that people, not that I can't believe. I've sold enough jackets, and I have enough. My fan base is big enough.
How many jackets are we talking? Because I was thinking about how many jackets were sold. How much money are we even arguing to the point of having this post thrown out there?
If I had to say off the record.
Off the record?
I don't have all the numbers right. But
no, we don't have to do it off the record. It's fine.
Over $500,000.
Okay. I mean, a good amount. Is that on the record or off? Because I don't want to have to edit that.
That's on the record.
On the record. All right, that's fine. That's fine, yo. Yo, that's a good business that you put together with your idea, and I applaud that, yo.
Yeah, I seen it in a few videos, too.
I did that on some stockbrokers that own Marriott shit,
You live the American dream out, yo.
Yo, tell them about the young...
I gave an interview where somebody said it's how to make it, this is just like an episode of How to Make It in America.
Exactly. Yo, that was a great show back in the day.
Yeah, man, great. Too bad it got canceled.
I know, I didn't understand that either.
Let me tell you how he used Now here's going to get interesting.
Okay.
Okay. He's never said anything in regards to the relationship or anything that's been going on until yesterday. It's out of sheer coincidence, young M.A., shout out to her, posts a picture wearing the Lynx Beach.
Okay.
Picture goes viral.
Okay.
The picture goes viral. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I have to believe that he got tipped off by that because young M.A. took it down. I understand. I'm not upset with her.
Why did she take it down? Did she take it down because of Ray's people reached out to her and take it down? You're assuming.
I'm assuming that Ray, because when it reached over 100, it was over 100,000 views.
Okay.
And then Ray hits me with that, and then the picture comes down. I gave her the jacket personally, and I know she.
It's a fly jacket. It's a fly jacket.
For real.
Huh?
It's a fly jacket. I just want to keep on reiterating that to the people. Like, it's not some regular shit.
That joint is definitely tough.
This ain't your starter jacket.
You're definitely earning yourself a free one. Then.
Hey, thank you.
So I think that and he already knew, and let me address the fraud thing. Okay.
The what? I'm sorry.
The fraud.
Oh yeah. Okay. The fraud thing. I'm sorry. You cut out for a second.
Yeah. Let me address that while we're on the same topic.
Okay.
He used the fact that a couple of orders, five or six to be give or take one, haven't been fulfilled yet. He used that. I mean, I guess a fan got to him, and I guess he used that as ammunition, to justify the fraud alert.
Yeah, somebody got upset. They added him on Twitter, and then he got a little upset that they're adding him about something that he doesn't have direct control of. So he felt to lash out like this.
It was only 5 people.
Instead of just reaching out to you.
Or
did he reach out to you about it?
Right. For the record, every customer that has ordered something from CL95 will receive their merchandise.
Facts.
I had a delay from the factory, one, and two, which it's my personal business, but I'm going to let the world know that shit happened. But during that time, which was only less than 90 days ago, I live in Miami. I got hit by Hurricane Irma. Okay, fucked up everyone's situation in Miami.
Yeah.
But to add insult to injury, my son was born the day of the hurricane.
Yes, congratulations again. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you. Shout out to my son Shane Nazir. Daddy loves you. But I couldn't get to him. I'm trapped in Miami. My son, I saw my son one day after the hurricane.
You had other concerns on your plate.
It was my customers, man, and you could read, prior to this happening, you could read reviews where, I'm not tooting my own horn, but, quality and customer service is job one, man, because without them, there's no CL95. And I'm telling you, shout out to everyone who's a fan of CL95 and who supported me, in the last 3 years. It hasn't been easy at all. But I didn't do this for the money. I did it to preserve the culture.
Facts.
Do something for hip-hop, do something great.
Facts.
For the culture.
To leave my mark.
And you certainly have. I mean, you still have people rocking the jacket 3 years later.
You see some jerseys too, right?
I saw the soccer jersey.
You got soccer jerseys out too?
Yeah. T-shirts, and I see you got multiple things with merch.
And I think a hoodie also.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I kept CL95 alive with 2 products for 3 years. Now that I felt comfortable and I kind of had the opportunity to clean house and really reorganize and restructure the infrastructure, I said, well, let's move forward with new products. Which I'll tell you, I'll tell everyone right now. If you guys love that jacket, wait till what I come out with next.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
We're waiting with bated breath.
That's what's up.
It's. I did it. I do it for. I did it for the people, man. I did it for the fucking. I did it for hip hop. There's cats out there that hoard this snow beach, and it's like it's cool if you have one, right?
Yeah.
But how about the rest of the world? Like, there's a whole generation that jacket will die with the owner because he's hoarding it. And I just my purpose to make this jacket is to keep it, to keep it alive forever and pass it down to that next generation who,
and that's what you did. Their Snow Beach will be your creation. Now their Snow Beach is what have you created?
kids that buy the jacket today, that's their Snow Beach.
Can you tell them about the?
You said it right now. And you know today's youth, man, they're misguided, man. They don't know, they're not in tune with the past. And I don't want to sound like one of these old heads that, where I got somebody like Little Thumper coming after me like, the old head, OG. No. This is for everybody.
Right.
Just let me show you how it was done, You take it from, you take it and do it with what you wish. But let me show you how we used to do it back in the day.
But
that's it.
To understand your passion, to hear it in your voice right now, and then wake up and see that message, it had to break your heart to know that somebody that you called a brother would out you like that on Instagram. And it's still up. I don't know if you had a conversation with him since that post has been put up. Have you reached out?
I reached out to him. I reached out to him yesterday and today. I know it's in vain. I know it's not. I know he's not going to reach out to me because. And again,
But why? Where did this strain in the relationship happen to the point where he can't pick up the phone and even give you a call? I mean, can you explain your relationship with Raekwon before the actual whole? Because you're calling him a brother, and I mean, you guys seem to have that brotherly relationship in the interviews that I saw.
Oh man!
Can you just explain to me so the people know how far back this goes and why this seems like such a petty thing to end a relationship over?
Right. I met Ray over 10 years ago. Great story, man. I was still working.
You're calling by his government.
I was late. I was late for a flight. I was flying to Miami. I'll try to make this part quick. I was running for the plane. But as I was running, LaGuardia Airport used to have a liquor store. I needed a new Met hat, so I ran to the side real quick, purchased one. And then, you ever buy something, turn around, and then run away real quick? Well, I did that, but I ran into Chef.
Literally ran into him, not so much figured it.
I literally knocked him down, knocked him off his feet.
So had you known him before you ran into him literally, or no?
No, when I saw Chef on the floor, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, it's him.
This is the guy. Oh, okay. So this is the first time you're meeting him.
Right. This is my first.
Gotcha.
John Nunez Chef,
Okay.
And it was, Chef,
Johnny met Chef.
I'm a huge fan of Wu-Tang. Still love Wu-Tang.
We all love Wu-Tang.
Still have hope. And Ray was one of my favorites. Mets is actually my favorite, but Ray, I definitely had a connection. I love the notoriety. I love the Lex Diamond story. My favorite song, so even now, is Live from New York. And, I knock him down. I pick him up. I remember his brother, K, he kind of yoked me up. I think C.R.E.A.M was there, Ray's right-hand man. Much love to those guys, too, man. So, I hate that they're in the middle of this.
So they're in the middle of this?
I mean, I hate that they're friends. We're friends, and they got to be.
They got to pick a side. They got to pick a side. Yeah. Still.
Yeah. They got to choose sides. Correct.
Right.
So I dust them off. We take a picture. I tell them I'm a big fan, and then I went on my way, and then I'm in my office maybe a couple days later, and I had given my business card. I told him, hey, if you ever need anything or help or anything, he gives me a call. My secretary tells me there's some kind of chef on the phone. Did you order lunch? Did you order lunch?
Emerald?
Chef on the phone. So I was like, oh shit, I know who that is. It's fucking Ray. And I throw my phone in Rob. It's like, yo, Raekwon's on the fucking phone, right? Whatever. We get on the phone. We politic. It happened to be Super Bowl weekend in Miami. From what I remember maybe his reservation had got lost or given away, whatever. My brother had an apartment at the time nearby the beach. We gave it to Ray for the weekend.
So this is just from running into somebody in the airport. Now you're giving them away.
Right.
Someplace to stay in Miami during Super Bowl weekend. I have to say that just shows your integrity right there. You seem like somebody that you just meet somebody and you're just like, look, stay in my crib. Super Bowl weekend.
I'll help anyone.
Okay.
Anyone that knows me knows that I'll give them the shirt off my back.
So to be called a fraud, that would hurt. That would kill me to know that I just gave you a place to stay in Miami when you just needed help, when you had no reservation for Super Bowl weekend, and you got the nerve, and then we built something together, and then now you're calling me a fraud. It just shows like that, I mean, it seems like the relationship might have been strained at some point or line, or He just flat out that might be the person that who he is.
No,
I mean, are you saying that?
No, I'm saying I'll tell you this. Like, you know, as a friend, he's great. We had a great relationship.
Okay.
But I know that in business, there was always an issue. Like, I remember, you know, I can tell you, I remember the first red flag I saw was during when he was signed to Aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there was never, you know, there wasn't, you know, the album was on the, you know, Only Built for Cuba Links was on the shelf, and I remember walking into his hotel room. I had flown to San Diego. We had gone to watch the Hurricanes versus Oklahoma, and they were getting blown out. We were fucking bored at halftime. It was like 6-0. Ray calls me up, or I call him up, and I ask him what's popping. Or he tells me what's popping. He's like, yo, we're in San Diego, and my partner Rob, he hires a fucking, man, it's crazy back then. He charters a fucking private jet to take us to San Diego, and we fly out there, and we hook up with Ray, and I remember walking into the hotel room, and he was arguing with Busta Rhymes, trying to get him to talk to Dr. Dre about why it's taking so long. I'll never forget that, screaming at the top of his lungs, and
screaming at Busta Rhymes.
Saw, like, he was screaming at Busta to talk to Dre about what the fuck was going to take to get this album put out.
Wow.
And I remember, like I said, wanting to help. I was like, you know, I wanted to help. I was like, oh man, you know, what do we have to do? And I had offered to obtain financing, you know, or like to basically say, let's do it ourselves. And you know, I tried for a while. I had some contacts. I was able to secure a small deal, but you know, now in retrospect, you know, there was change going on in the industry where, you know, CD sales were going down and budgets, you know, nobody was handing out budgets anymore. So, you know, when I think about it now, $250,000 to put an album together, that's enough money to make the deal happen, you know?
Yeah.
But Ray was so used to the old, you know,
the old Vanguard.
Excuse me?
The old Vanguard and making a lot of money up front in your albums.
Right. You know, I remember getting him $250,000 from the attorney that defended the 2 Live Crew in that First Amendment case. I can't remember his fucking name right now, but he owned a company called Pyramid Records in Miami. Anyway, I'm starting to go off on a tangent, but
no,
I started seeing.
I don't mind the tangent tip. I'll pitch you.
I remember you know, I remember he didn't want the deal. He didn't want the deal, so it didn't happen. Anyway, we left that alone, kept it moving, whatever. Years go by, whatever. But I saw that, you know, there was the beef with RZA, you know, and I could never understand the beef between Wu-Tang. You know, why couldn't they get this going? And then I would ask Ray, like, Ray, what's going on? And he would always say, it's you, God, or it's RZA. But, you know, now I could tell you guys that it was him because he's a control freak, and RZA is the captain of the ship. And he just can't handle a situation when he doesn't have total control of it. He's
a control freak, basically.
Yeah, big time.
Wow.
Big time. So when it came to me, it was like, I don't know. He basically underestimated my capability.
He just didn't believe in the project as much as you did. That's what it comes down to right now. Me, that's what it sounds like to me.
Absolutely not.
But hearing your side right now, it just comes off as like this wasn't really your thing to begin with.
Right. He can't believe that I pulled this off, or that I'm still here. He can't believe it. And I'll tell you this, which, you know, that I know this is factual data, where my little brother went after Ray yesterday, you know, and, you know...
When you say went after, what do you mean by went after? Like, tried to call him or contact him, or...
No, he called Ray. He texted Ray. He texted Ray and told me that, you know, how can you do this? You know this is my brother did this, you know, but, you know, Ray, man, you know, when he says shady dealings, shady dealings is There was never any shady dealings.
So there was none.
If you want to talk about shade, you want to talk about shade. I'll tell you. You want to see what shady was? Shady was me developing products, in let's say in my lab without telling him.
That's what you felt shady. That was what shady was.
That's what he was talking about when he said shady dealings.
Like shady was me being a maverick, and me being like. Because I am, I'm hands-on. Like, I was hands-on.
That's pretty ridiculous. So you trying to make the company better by making the soccer jerseys and making alternative colors and doing all these other creative things. He felt like that's what he's calling shady dealings.
Yeah. I had brought other people into the project where, I was building the brand. I was
like, you were consistently still trying to build this brand where this, like you said, after that Vancouver pop-up shop, he was really done with it in your mind.
He was done. He checked out that day.
And that was 2 years ago.
How long has the company been in existence?
It's been 3 years.
No,
3 years?
That's
3 years ago? So this company's been going for 3 years?
Well, it'll be 3 years in a night.
So he hasn't said anything for 3 years? Or
when's the last time you actually talked to him?
Has he been saying, like, has he been telling you, like, oh, I don't like this, give me some money type thing?
About a month ago, I had secured a deal with a chain store in Australia, and they had posted. By the way, Ray trolls me on the internet. He trolled my personal Instagram, and that's how he found out about a lot of shit.
So he just has a vendetta against you, it seems.
Yeah, it's a vendetta. That's why I feel there won't be any peace. I'm willing to sit down. I'm internet. I'm willing to sit down with Raekwon right now and hash this out. Hash out a deal. Moving forward, but nothing from retroactive. But that's not going to happen. I want everyone to know that whatever vibe they get from me, if they feel I'm willing to work it out. I'm a diplomat. And
so the door is still open that the relationship can be mended.
Does Raekwon have a signed contract with you, or it's not? Did he sign any agreement with you?
His contract. He refused to sign it.
Okay. So there is
under the table.
He has no signatures on owning anything.
Yeah, so to the point where he's doing slander.
So this is just him talk. Like, there's no business where he's owed anything contractually or anything of that sort.
He has absolutely no legal binding to the company. He was originally on the corporate charter of Seal 95, but when he checked out, we pulled him off the corporation.
Okay.
For his protection.
Okay.
True. And it's the name of the company is, again, repeat it for everybody?
CL95 Inc.
Gotcha.
Okay. And tell them the website too. Tell them the website too, please.
Yeah. It's a Florida corporation. Now, there's records of that. You can search public records.
No, we know it's a legit company. I just want people to know exactly what we're talking about still. We've been talking for 45 minutes. I just want to just refresh people's minds. And then you're not even using the term Cuban link anymore. You've changed it to class of
95.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So he really has there's no ties to the Cuban link or anything that has anything to do with him. And initially might have started with that, but now 3 years later, you have now moved on and you're branding yourself in a whole new line. So they're really, what he's talking about is old money. If anything, he just wants a check. He just wants a check. He wants another check for it.
But my thing is, how hefty does a check have to be? Like, what kind of check do you want? It's like, it's a lot for but I understand what he's saying because he probably feels, and I noticed that interview, that Van City interview says a lot, man, to me, just from reading the body language, how enthusiastic you were about, like, it looked like you just wanted to say something like, nah, this is like, I did the work. You could just tell from how you looked in the interview, you know what I mean?
So, yeah. I gotta believe, fellas, that once he saw it popping, he was like, again, assuming, man, I should have signed that fucking contract,
Okay, but he was saying how he designed the pockets, how he wanted the Gore-Tex. Like, was that a mutual agreement thing, or was that Ray? Did he tell you I want this certain fabric? Did he tell you certain things?
No. He had absolutely nothing to do in the selection process. Again, in research development, had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
So he has no intellectual property in this at all?
Zero.
It's all
the
yours.
idea is to come up with Chef Sport, and legally, he can't claim anything there because Chef he doesn't own the word.
Yeah, he doesn't own the word chef. Yes, exactly. I agree. I agree 1,000%.
And Beats, which are all registered trademarks of CL95 now. I mean, at the end of the day, it's mine.
Are you afraid? Are you afraid of being
mine.
blackballed, like from entertainers that he knows, and are you afraid of that kind of backlash?
I never, you know what's crazy? I don't. Until yesterday, I never got any. And I'm talking about years later. No one. I still had people asking, jacket requests from everyone. I'm trying to think, man.
You said Young M.A. That's somebody right there.
Yeah, Young M.A. These were all people.
Dave East had it. Dave East had it in the cut of the Shot Glizzy video. He was wearing the Lynx Beach.
Dave East?
I didn't ask these. Yeah, Dave East. 3 million hits. Yeah. I didn't ask Dave to do that. I didn't. He did it on the strength.
Like we said, the jacket is fly.
Fire.
If you see it, you're gonna want it. I promise you.
Right.
So I totally understand. Yeah. But I understand your point of view 1,000%, and your voice needed to be heard. Like that post, how many views is that? How many likes did this get? 2,000 something likes. Come on.
Hey, Johnny. But I got my man Lrac in here, and I just want you because I seen the comment you did on Instagram. You said it to the public. You said something about Raekwon having a ghostwriter. Do you want to expound on that?
Yeah, I could.
Because he doesn't believe me. He doesn't believe me. I was trying to tell him. He thought I was lying. I'm like, man, I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you, I was talking to him. He was like, man, you lying, bro. Like, he's lying. I'm like, yo, hold on, I'm going to have him tell you. You know what I mean? Because you said it to the public on the Instagram. That's the only reason why I asked you publicly, because it was publicly to the Instagram. So that's why I want you to validate that.
I said it. I did say it, and it's 100% true.
Oh, wow. My God.
Okay?
And can you tell us more about who it is, or
is it his most recent work, or
like it's like, why not? You know why? It's I'll tell you, and I'm not saying this out of spite. And I'll tell you, internet, I have nothing to gain from what I'm about to say. Okay, but if you punch me in the face, I'm gonna punch you back.
Right. Of course.
I never. When I said that, right? When I said that, I never, when I walked into that situation, I thought, and this was during the first days of the project.
What project in particular? I'm sorry. Can you just
in the beginning days of the CL95 project?
Okay.
I was in New York. I went to New York to meet up with Ray. Actually, to take a pair of Packer, grab a pair of the Packer Snow Beach joints that he had in the house. We were going to have a meeting regarding the project, whatever. So I fly to his crib. He was living in Jersey, he still lives in Jersey, whatever. And our relationship was so tight. And I would have took that shit to the grave with me. And then what I just said, what I'm about to tell you guys, I would, 3 years later, 4 years later, I never mentioned that until yesterday. But because I was hurt myself.
Again, a man with integrity.
It wasn't. And I'll tell you that this ain't no fraudulent shit. What I'm about to say.
I believe you.
Either I'm fucking crazy, or I know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm about to say what I'm about to say. I walk into Gray's apartment. There's some dude on his couch writing, and he introduces me, whatever. I didn't remember the guy's name.
Was his name P.U.R.E? Was his name P.U.R.E? The guy from Richmond? I think he's from Virginia.
If the guy sounds like Nas,
he was on the cut. It was on the F.I.L.A International Luxurious Art album. I think his name is P.U.R.E, and they had a song called Eminem. No, he was on the Wild. My bad. He was on the Wild, and he got a song by. I think he got a song called Eminem, and everybody say he sound like Nas. They got a back and forth, John. It got to be him because he's the only one that sound like Nas.
Which dropped in 2015, correct?
Yeah, it was his last. I don't know if it's the last album or the one before. I don't know if it was it F.I.L.A or was it the Wild?
Eminem was on the Wild.
It was the F.I.L.A.
No, Eminem was on the Wild.
Correct.
Yeah, on the Wild.
Okay.
2017.
Yes. Okay.
So I'm like, why did you just we had that kind of relationship because I don't think he would tell anyone.
Let's continue the story. He was on the couch. You said you walked in and P.U.R.E was on the couch.
P.U.R.E was on the couch. That's the only guy that sound like.
He was on the couch. I think he was writing. I mean, he was doing. I think he was writing, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And Ray tells me that he was writing lyrics for him, and I'm like, why the fuck did you just tell me this? Like, I didn't want to hear that. Like, even when I heard it, it was like when you find out there's no fucking Santa Claus.
Exactly.
And wrestling is fake.
Wow. Oh, man. Lrac, you got a question for it, man? Because he was the one you didn't believe.
So, no, wait. So, did Ray openly admitted to this to you and then continued to talk like it was a normal, was it like a normal thing to him?
Yeah, well, the conversation, we started talking about some other shit. Like, this Ghostwriter, right? He got some lyrics, a new look, like a fresh perspective. And I'm like, I don't want any of that shit. Well, first of all, I don't want to hear this shit. And two, I want fucking I want only go for Cuban links. I don't want to hear no new shit. I don't want to hear somebody else.
You want to hear Ray. You don't want to hear this guy.
Shit.
So I just want to clear this up.
You're not saying you're not talking about the old albums. You're talking about the recent albums.
The recent albums.
You're not talking about only Bill. Do you believe that he was always getting lyrics written for him at some point, or do you believe that just recently?
No.
Right, the classic.
I think no. The Ghostwriter was definitely on. It was on F.I.L.A, and I don't know what happened on the Wild, but I know this was prior to F.I.L.A.
Okay. That's crucial, man. That's heavy, right? Lrac?
It's definitely heavy right there.
That's
but
heavy.
you've seen Ray go in and record it on his own without having any lyrics written, and he does
have an interesting track on F.I.L.A called M&N, where P.U.R.E is just rapping every word with the letter M, and it just seems like too intricate. Ray's like a different kind of rapper, like he's like a stylistic type of guy. For him to it just seemed like more of a Pat Poose type of style. It just doesn't. So I always want to give Raekwon the benefit of the doubt, but now that he's saying that, I'm just saying, just being realistic, bro. You can't
unsee it.
I don't know, man.
With him explaining it to you, you can hear it in the song.
I can hear that it's just not something Ray would come up with. It's just not. It's not his style.
Now, do you think it's just that one song, or is it more than one song?
What I said earlier. I'm sorry to cut you off, but what I said earlier is like listen to Fat Joe after Pun died. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at that. Look at how the style changed.
Right. This is true.
Like internets, listen to F.I.L.A and it's like this bizarro fucking version of Ray.
Hold on, John.
This is true.
We're not. You're not saying that Big Pun wrote for Fat Joe. You don't know that as a fact.
But come on, man. People already know that.
I never heard that.
In the middle of it. That's regular. That's regular.
You never
Big
heard
Pun
that?
was,
I've heard that.
I don't want to know that.
We're not doing that. Come on. Let's keep it going.
All right, I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
Because people are going to hear this.
That's regular. That's general.
I just want to
heroes.
Hold on. Yeah. I don't want to incriminate you by saying that.
No, that's
We're
general.
saying this
Everybody knows that.
This is allegedly. I just want to throw that in front of what he was saying.
And he did a song back and forth.
But he said it so nonchalant, like it was a fact. We don't know that's a fact, but
that's a rumor that's been around for decades.
That's it. That's all I wanted to do is clarify for John's sake.
You know what? Yeah, that's off the record. And you know what? In my opinion, Sun got nice after Pun died. I don't know.
And we're going to take that part out because it has nothing to do with anything. I don't want a problem with Fat Joe.
He's cool with it.
Right.
I'm not Fat Joe.
We're not going to diss Fat Joe. We mentioned Fat Joe.
But yeah, John, man, this has been a great interview here, man. Do you want to say anything else? Anything else you want to get off your chest?
Talk about this. I want you to talk about the skiers and the people that wear your product. Just throw some names off.
Can we talk about the future of the product?
Just show your work. Just show your work and why you should be. That you put the work in. Show the people that you've worked with and everything.
Right. Listen, internet. Just know that CL95 is here to stay. It isn't going anywhere. I've worked too hard and too long. To give you guys, that feeling. Like I want, for the people who bought it for the nostalgic value, man, I'm so proud. I've gotten so much love and support, from the customers and the fans all over the world. Shout out to Japan and Spain. So many people have reached out to me in support and just demonstrated, genuine concern for the situation. Even they don't want Ray and I to have beef. They want us to work it out. They want us, they want more. They want to see more. They want to see this work out. I hope for the best and I expect the worst, but understand that we're not going anywhere. We got new products on the way with the same quality, with the same integrity. And hopefully it gives you that same feeling, and that's the only reason I did that. For those customers, and again, and I'm talking to you personally, I've reached out to them, understand that an apology isn't, I'm not. It doesn't make up for the lack of customer service that they deserve. But understand that when I lost a lot here. I lost a lot here in building this brand, and a lot of people don't know what it takes to they think that if you got a couple of dollars, you could start a clothing brand. No, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of dedication, and it's a lot of hard work, and it's you're gonna fracture relationships. You're gonna lose friends. You're gonna realize who your real friends are. Which is no one, because no one in this business. It's so cutthroat. No one wants to see you win. And at the end of the day, no one wanted to see John Nunez win. I'll tell you that right now. No one. So I'm the only man standing. I am John Nunez that works in fulfillment. I am John Nunez that works in purchasing. I am John Nunez that works in billing, accounting.
Literally a one-man show.
I'm a one-man wrecking crew. Just know that, if you bought something from me, I probably fucking packed it and took it to the post office myself.
Do you still have your other business partner with you?
Everybody wanted a fucking handout, and nobody was willing to work for it.
Rob Santana guy. Remember you said you was another guy you was working with, Rob Santana, Rob something. Do you still are you still cool with him?
Yeah. Rob Santana is a close personal friend of mine. He's not affiliated with CL95 anymore. I guess the problem really stemmed from creative differences, and no one wanted, there were too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Now, no one. I try to delegate authority, but when you have too many alpha dogs in the room, man, it was just a fucking pit bull fight, yep. Man, and it stressed my relationship with Rob. It was tough, but I had to clean house.
Okay.
Hey, it's understandable.
Yeah, definitely, man. If you feel like you covered everything that you need to cover,
let's get your information. Let's get your Instagram. Let's get the website. Yeah. Let's get all that out there for the internet to make sure they
want them jackets
get them
too,
jackets.
Bro. We need them free jackets.
Get them jackets. Make sure you. So you want to give that out right now?
Yeah, sure. Listen, fellas, internets, women, children, everybody, check us out at CL95Inc.com. On Instagram, on every social media platform is CL95 NYC. Listen, I'm not a fraud. We just, shit happens. But everyone, I guarantee, that ordered something from CL95, they'll get it. And just know that it's worth the wait. And I know the day that customer that didn't get their jacket, I just understand, support the brand. Man, I'm a little guy just trying to keep hip-hop alive and keep it on the right path, for our kids and their kids' kids. That's it.
This is facts. Thank you for the interview, John.
Yeah.
John,
man, anytime, brother. Hey, let's stay in touch. And hey, man, let's
we'll link in, as they say, we'll link and build.
Yo,
John, yeah. We'll get past this. And hopefully maybe Ray and I could get past this.
I really do hope so. I really do hope so.
Yo, John, you gonna send us that free merchandise, good brother?
Let's go with the free jackets, John.
Come on, Johnny. What's up?
But no, thank you for the interview. We're gonna end the interview right here.